Is civil engineering is the right choice for you? So with growing demand of computer science, with growing popularity of tech branches, we find somewhere that these traditional branches like civil engineering has lost its importance, has lost its demand, right? But yes, students, this is not true. In today's video, we are going to explore civil engineering in detail, where I'll be telling you what are the different career opportunities you have, what are the different placements that you get, what are the top companies that recruit you, what are the courses that you are going to study, and which are the colleges where you can take admission in civil engineering. So if you are someone who are fascinated with towering skyscrapers, intricate bridges, or the complex infrastructures that is present in our society, if this is something that excites you, then definitely civil engineering is a branch for you. But yes, let us understand this in detail now. Okay, we'll be exploring each and every aspect of civil engineering, so stay tuned so that you do not miss out on any important point here. Basics of civil engineering. So let us start from the very basic. What is civil engineering? Okay, what does it teaches you? So civil engineering is a branch of engineering that deals with design. Okay, so one second. Okay, so that deals with design, construction and maintenance of infrastructure projects. So there are so many infrastructures that you see around you, right? There are bridges, there are roads, there are power plants, there are top you can say very fascinating malls, there are so well equipped restaurants, so many infrastructures are there around you, right? Every day you'll be seeing, you'll be fascinated with their architecture, with their constructions, with so many beautiful designs it is made up of. So a civil engineer is the one who designs it, right? So yes, designing, then you have construction, and you have maintenance of these infrastructure projects. Now what are the key areas where like what are the different types of civil engineers we have? We can take structural engineers. So structural engineering is those who work on infrastructures, okay, buildings and all. Second, we have transportation. So those who construct the roads, the bridges, railways, okay, transportation engineering. Then you have water resource engineering. So the those wastewater management plants, okay, so these, so that we can get clean water. These are the work of again civil engineering. Next you have environmental engineering, okay. Next you have geotechnical engineering. So here they work on the properties of rocks and soil, so that which rocks and soils mixture composition can be used for different infrastructures, okay. Next, okay, so now one very simple question I'll be asking: can we survive without these important things? Without the infrastructures, can we survive? Can we survive about road like without roads, without railways? Can you think of a life without these things? Can you imagine that without wastewater management plant in your city, can you get purified water for yourself? No, right? So how can we say that civil engineer demands are going down? Civil engineers are again the backbone of our country. They need this. We need civil engineers for our daily life, for our daily smooth life, right? So yes, obviously it is an important branch. So if you are someone who is interested in civil engineering, then do not underestimate just because computer science demand is growing on. It has its own importance and it cannot be replaced, okay? So now let us see the, suppose you have become a civil engineer, what are the things that you can do, okay? So first is roads and bridges. You will be designing, constructing the different roads, different bridges that we see around us, right? Next, so that next one is buildings. So this examples, enough examples will be there around you. You will be seeing some very fascinating, very well designed, well structured buildings around you, right? There are so many malls, so many restaurants around you can see. Sometimes you might be amazed with their design, right? So this is all again because of civil engineering. Next, water system. So they help us to get clean water and manage wastewater. Every city needs a wastewater management plant, right? Where the wastewater should be treated, where the clean water is produced and that is given to us so that we can drink it, right? So yes, we cannot imagine a city without the clean water, and without without civil engineers we cannot imagine clean water for us. So yes, a very thanks to these civil engineers who work day and night and provide us these basic facilities. Next, coming to again infrastructure. So they plan and build the airport, dams, tunnels, so many things, infrastructures that are there around you is because of these civil engineers. Now let us see some real world impact where these civil engineers are there. You can see everything is required for you to survive. We need roads, we need bridges, we need buildings, dams, roads, tunnels, airports, water supply, waste management system, right? So these all things, these are the real world or daily life thing that we require and are provided by our civil engineers, right? So that is why civil engineering is a very good and important branch for the society. Now coming to next one, core subjects and curriculum. So now we understood what is a civil engineer doing, okay, what are the things they are working for us. Civil engineers make roads, they make dams, they make tunnels, they make bridges, they make airports, and they are the one who supply or who are the reason for the treatment of this wastewater and giving us clean water, right? So yes, definitely they are an integral part of this society. Now to become a civil engineer, what are the subjects that you need to study? Let us see that now. So curriculum here, first is statics and dynamics, so understanding different forces and motions, something related to physics here is there. Mechanics of materials, so you should know how materials can bear the stress and strain. Like for example, give some layman example here. Suppose you have constructed a building of a particular type of material, okay. Now you should know that how much pressure or how much stress can it bear, so that above, if it happens, it will collapse, right? So that limit should be known to you. Now if you have done or if you have constructed something, some bridges, you can find so many collapsing of bridges in news every day you will be finding, right? Why is this happening? This is because of we are not having good civil engineers in our country, right? So we need to have very good civil engineers who can work on the materials, right? So that we can have a well like you can say strength and structured infrastructure for us. Next, coming to structural analysis, analyzing the strength and stability of these structures. Then we have fluid mechanics, we have solid mechanics, where you need to understand the behavior of the fluids, behavior of the solids, okay. Now coming to environmental science, this is again very important. You can see so many protests, so many rallies, so many revolt against different end projects like dams. If some dams are constructed, okay, there will be some some revolt against it or some strike against it because it affects the environment. So civil engineers need to think what type of development they can do without hampering the environment, without hampering the people living in those areas, right? So yes, again this is something civil engineers need to study about the environmental science, right? So yes, the subjects are very clear, okay. So next, coming to career opportunities. So now we understood that what does a civil engineer do, where what all works they do, right, and what they need to study. Now what are the different sectors in industries where these civil engineers get jobs? Let us discuss that now. So in construction, so wherever there are construction companies, you can see building companies, contractors and developers. You can see L&T, a very reputed company which hires civil engineers. Then you have Tata Projects. Now in infrastructure, so there are so many government agencies like Public Work Development, National Highway Authority of India, which creates or which constructs the highway for the countries, right? These all need civil engineering. Next, you have transportation. For transportation, there are different transportation agencies where civil engineers can work, like Indian Railway, Delhi Metro Railway Corporation. These all are again important sources here. Now water resources, as I discussed, civil engineers are the key people who give us or who work on wastewater management plants and provide us purified water to drink, right? So water resources like government agencies, Central Water Commission, then you have Moto McDonald, ACOM. These are the different sectors where a civil engineer can find its job and can grow their career. Now coming to again as I told you, environmental engineering, they can work in Central Pollution Control Board, geotechnical engineering, so to understand the properties of the matter, consulting firms, geological surveys. So these are the different sectors. Now coming to job roles. So you can work as a structural engineer. So if you are someone or working as a structural engineer, you will be designing different structures like dams, like some infrastructures. Okay, you will be designing these things. Now if you are a transportation engineer, you will be designing railways, roadways, tunnels, bridges. These will be under your jurisdiction. Next, coming to water resource engineer. So here you will be planning like how to manage the wastewater, how this plant should be constructed, how to manage and how to purify the wastewater in an efficient way. These all things will be your work here. Now if you are an environmental engineer, you need to know if you are developing some project for the development of the country, you are working on some project, how can what will be its consequences on the environment and how can you reduce that. Okay, next, if you are a geotechnical engineer, here you will be working more with the materials like rock. So our every building infrastructure is mainly made up of, we can say, cement, which is rock and soil, right? So what should be the proportion of rock and soil, which type of rock should be taken, which type of soil should be taken. So these all things comes for a geotechnical engineer. Next, again, construction manager. So if you are a manager here, under you certain civil engineers will be working who will be constructing. You need to guide them, you need to provide a what I can say, you need to manage the work so that the work is completed well within the deadline. Next, coming to project managers, similar to any project is there, you can be a manager to that. Then transportation planner. So here you will be not exactly telling about the constructions, but you will be planning what should be the way, which road should go, where the bridge should be there, right? Then how the bridge should be constructed, that again comes for transportation engineer. Here you are a planner. Okay. Next, coming to urban planner. If any new city is being developed, where should be the roads, like how the traffic can be controlled, what should be the direction of roads, okay, how should be the bridges, how should be the tunnels, everything is under your planning here. Next, coming to, okay, here again I have a very interesting thing for you. I have taken a job profile of a civil engineer. Okay, so one day you will be also applying for jobs. You will be also reading different job descriptions and applying for them if you are interested. So now, from now also, let us have an experience of this. Let us understand what type of jobs profile, what type of skills are required for a civil engineer job. So here you can see the job profile is site civil engineer, company is high-tech engineers and consultant. So here job title you can see civil engineer, industries, wastewater or infrastructure. Now that is different thing. We'll see the responsibilities here. What is your responsibility? You need to plan, design and regulatory compliance. Okay, so you need to plan, you need to design and you need to apply them. Next, site assessment and material selection. So where this wastewater, suppose they are making a wastewater management institute, like institute means the plant where these things will happen. So you need to select a site. It should be outside of the outskirts of the city, which location will be suitable, where environmental hampering is also less. All these things you need to consider. Material selections, you need to do like what type of materials can be used, which is available also readily, whose cost is like it is also cost effective. These all things also you need to consider. Next, construction supervision, quality control, safety management, budget control. So these all things are different responsibilities that you will be having as a civil engineer. Now what are the skills required here? So skills required, technical skills, you need to be a structural engineer. AutoCAD, so if you know, AutoCAD is a the drawing tool, okay, where we can draw the tools and we can draw the like I can say plan the infrastructure, and you can see it from the top view, from the side view, and you can make a very good design here. Construction management, so you need to know how to manage the construction, and all these skills you need to have. Technical skills, non-technical, communication, problem solving, these all things will come. Okay, so this is just a glimpse of like what exactly a civil engineer has to do, what are the responsibilities, what are the skills that is required in them. Okay, now coming to the next one, that is placement. Okay, so now we have seen that what civil engineering exactly is, where are the different places where civil engineers are needed, what are the jobs they can do, what are the job profile looks, what are the skills required, so many things we saw now. Now see, let us talk about the placement here. Okay, so if you see, we have taken the example of RV College here. So this is RV College placement record for civil engineering. So you can see the total number of students were 125 in 2022-2023 batch, and almost 52 students were placed, and 15 students went for higher education, and 5 students worked as entrepreneurs. So you can see almost 52 students were placed. Okay, next coming to salary. Okay, the thing that you ask, everyone must be knowing. So in 2020 and 2021, the minimum package was around 4.5 LPA, maximum package was 13 LPA, and the average package was around 6.23 LPA. Okay, so yes, again this is not a very bad number. So if instead of going to computer science where you are not interested, you can go for civil engineering if you are fascinated by these infrastructures, by this construction, by these materials. If this is something which interests you, then definitely it is a branch for you. Okay, next, top recruiters. Now your question will be, ma'am, we have seen so many things, now tell us the companies where we will be working. Okay, so let us see that also here. So here some companies have written TCS. Okay, so don't think that TCS is only for software, it also hires civil engineers. Okay, then you have Flipkart, you have L&T. This is one of the best, like one of the most popular company in India which hires civil engineers. Then you have Sapurji, Palonji, you have Brigade Group. So if you are someone who stays in Bangalore, you can see so many brigade boards, you can see most of the places, right? Brigade Group. Then you have Atkins, you have JSW, CTS, Synergy, Tata Steel, Simplex, PNB Housing. Okay, so these are the different companies where you can get placed. Next, coming to PSUs. Okay, so again, as I told you, civil engineering has a lot of scope, a lot of opportunities in the government sectors also. Okay, the job opportunities are very huge in this sector. So let us see what are the top PSUs that are available here. Indian Railways, National Highways Authority of India, Central Water Commission, Central Public Works Department, National Building, Power Grid, National Mineral Development, Indian Port Association, National Housing Bank. So just imagine, if we do not have these sectors, if infrastructure is not there, then how can we survive, right? And for infrastructure, the key components, the key people we need are our civil engineers, right? So please do not treat this branch as a waste or a demanding or as a not a required branch. Civil engineers are required and will always be required for the growth of the country. Okay. Okay, now coming to the top colleges here. So we have discussed so many things. Now the question arises, where are we going to study this course? So there are so many, like almost every college has civil engineering branch. So we'll be discussing some top 4-5 colleges, and I'll be telling you the last year cutoff for them. So if you're RV, so this is your KCET 2023 round 2 extended cutoff. Okay. So for RV it is 18,609, BMS it is 42,640, MS Ramaya 44,361, National Institute of Engineering 90,589, Dayanand Sagar is around 1,22,227. Okay. Now coming to the very important question. We have discussed almost everything about civil engineering. Now it is your time to decide whether this branch is for you or not. Okay, so you have to take a pen and paper, sit now, and I'll be asking you 3 questions. You need to answer them in yes or no. If you find more number of yes in these questions, then you can definitely consider civil engineering as one of your preferred branch. If there are many no's, then you can ignore it. Okay, so let us see the first question here. Are you interested in how cities and infrastructures are planned and developed? Like when you see, okay, when you see some very fascinating bridge, do you question yourself like how has it been designed, who has constructed it, who has planned it? Does such questions come to your mind when you pass by and see some beautiful infrastructure around you? If yes, then this branch is for you. If no, you can leave this. Do you like to learn about different types of materials and how they are used in construction? Okay, have you ever thought like why like why certain buildings are made up of different type of material, while roads are made up of different materials, bridges are made of different materials, airports are made up of different materials, what are their properties. Have you ever thought in this way? Okay, next, would you be interested in working on large scale projects that benefit your community? Will you be, suppose wastewater management plant is being constructed in your city, just imagine, will you be a part, like will you have a desire to be a part of that, when you know that this, if this plant comes in your area, many people will be getting pure water, their health will be improved, they will be living in a more hygienic condition. So will you be someone interested to join, to contribute in this work by working as a civil engineer in these plants? Yes or no? So please think on these questions and then decide whether this branch is for you or not. Okay. Okay, now coming to one more question here. Are you comfortable with math and science subjects like physics and geometry? Are you interested in these subjects, maths, physics, geometry, calculations, measurements? Is these subjects strong for you or not? Okay. Okay, now let us go to challenges and rewards. So see, as we told, nothing comes with like only pros and only cons. Everything, it is a mixture of pros and cons, right? So civil engineering definitely has its own challenges but also has its own rewards. Now you need to think whether with your potential can overcome these challenges or not. If you are someone who is ready to overcome the challenges, then definitely you can go for civil engineering. So now if you see here, first of all, challenges is complex problem solving. You need to be very accurate, you need to be knowing what type of infrastructures is needed so that they can withstand the calamities, the natural calamities. There should not be any, like, you know, if one bridge falls, so many people die, right? So many deaths happen, so many accidents happen. So these all things comes under the responsibility of a civil engineer. So is it possible that you have this ability to solve this type of complex problems or not? Next, unpredictable site solutions. So you might have to work in some unpredictable sites, some very harsh and some very, like, not a very comfortable place. You need to work in those sites also. You need to work under scorching heat also, right? So will you be able to do that or not? Next, environmental concerns. So civil engineer has to be always concerned about the environment, because whatever projects they are making should not hamper the environment, right? So you need to have a knowledge of environmental engineering as well. Next, coming to rewards. So there is a high job satisfaction. Okay, the societal impact. So you people, civil engineers, are the one who have a great impact on the society. If the infrastructure is good, then we say, if the transportation is good, if the communication is good, we say that country is well developed, right? A developed country has very good transportation system, have very good infrastructures, have clean hygienic water. So yes, you are going to be someone who has a lot of impact on the society. So yes, if you are ready to do this, then civil engineering is for you. Then variety of projects. You will be getting so many projects. Today you are working on some dam, tomorrow you will be working on some construction of tunnels, next day bridges. So there are a lot of scope, lot of diversity in your career, in your job profile. Okay. Next is job security. So you do not find layoffs in civil engineering like how computer science, like at a time thousands of employees are removed. Such things do not have in civil engineering. So this is a very stable job and a job which has a lot of societal impact. Okay. So now coming to some top civil engineers of the world, let us learn about them, let us see them. So first one is your Sir E. Sridharan. Okay, so if you know him, he was a like pioneer for Delhi Metro. Many of you might be using Delhi Metro every day, okay, or might have used some or the other time, or might be using in the some future. So please, whenever next time you use Delhi Metro, remember Sir E. Sridharan. He was the one because of which you can transport so easily from one place to another in Delhi. Okay, he was also responsible and had played an important role in Konkan railways. Next, coming to very famous Sir Sir Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya, okay, he was the one who made the planning for the most beautiful city, that is Mysore. Okay, so yes, these two civil engineers we have in our country who have made a great impact for us. So if you are someone, and if you want to be someone, like next sometime we'll be talking about you, where you have developed some good cities, good roads, good tunnels, then yes, you can be a civil engineer if you want such type of impact for your country. Okay, so yes, this was all about civil engineering, and I hope after listening to this whole video, your perception that civil engineering is a waste branch, its demand is growing, its demand is falling down, nobody is interested, it's not an interesting branch, these all things will definitely go. You can now have a I can say clear opinion whether this branch is for you or not. Okay, so the whole motto of this video was to make you aware about the different job opportunities, different career opportunities, and different profiles where you can work as a civil engineer. Okay, so please remember, civil engineers do have a bright career. Okay, it is nothing like this branch is of no use, a very important and an integral branch for the society. Please remember this one. If civil engineers are not there, we are not going to survive. Okay, we will not be having infrastructures, we'll be not having good water, we'll be not having airports, we'll not be able to communicate, we'll not be able to travel, right? So please think in this perspective, and if you then find that this subject interests you, then definitely go for it. If you find it is not interesting, you can leave it, but just do not leave it because everyone is following computer science. Okay, the whole motto was saying is this: don't follow the crowd, understand everything about the particular branch, and then make your own decision. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe the channel for more updates.